Hi guys, my name's Gareth. I play drums for Carter and The Rattlesnakes. I teach as well and I session. I just want to say a massive thank you to Laura from DRUMQUEST for inviting me to answer some questions. Please check out everything else on her DRUMQUEST YouTube channel. It's just a really great source of some inspiring interviews, some interesting fun stories and anecdotes from some great players, and yeah, loads of great practical drumming advice as well. So to answer the questions, first question was, what do I think makes a good drummer? Pretty challenging question overall to wrap into a nutshell, but for me, two words always come to mind when I'm asked this: control and fluidity. So the things that I love and I respect in incredible players that that inspire me are a sense of full control over what they're doing, every little thing that they're doing on the kit. And what it provides is this sense of fluidity to the music that they're playing. They flow around the kit in fluid ways physically, the end resulting sound, the flow of notes that comes out, everything is just so fluid, it's musical. I think those players in particular have really great control of a few specific elements. Technique, because the physical side of what you do on the kit informs everything in terms of how you control the sounds that you make. Really great to just strive to think about technique and learn about how the various different ways you can control what you do physically on the drums and the effects that they have on the sounds you create. Control of dynamics. These guys always have incredible control of the dynamic elements of their playing. They can play from the tiniest, most minuscule, almost inaudible end of the scale right up to huge, bombastic, massive accents, and it's about understanding the effect that range of control can have on the musicality that you, as an audience, that you listen for. And the same goes for timing and spacing. So these guys have just incredible sense of pulse, and like an inner metronome that is just to the clock, but also their understanding of and control of the spacing of all the divisions in between that pulse as well. How all the rhythms that they play between that flow as much as the overall sense of pulse, and again just sort of really demonstrates incredible control over everything they're doing on the instrument, and the end result is this oozing sense of fluidity about the music that they're playing. Guys in particular that inspire me: Buddy Rich, Steve Gadd, Vinnie Colaiuta, Benny Greb, Mark Juliana, who was I watching this morning? Carter McLean. Guys like this, again, just embrace drumming and the role of their drumming in the music that they're playing. They all have this amazing sense of control and fluidity to what they do. I think that's what makes a good drummer a good drummer. Second question, lockdown. How am I dealing with it, and any advice? I'm loving it, and I'm finding it really challenging in equal measure, as a lot of people I've spoken to. Bits of advice, well, things I've been trying to do: take a little peaceful moment every day, however out there that might sound to some of you. It's helped provide me, or just remind me of, an idea of balance. Quiet moment, no thought going through my head, just trying to concentrate on the sounds of the birds or whatever I hear around me, and just trying to have no input into my brain at all. And it's become a really useful thing just to remember when I'm in a state of trying to deal with everything all at once, which I think we can all be quite guilty of sometimes. That would also be another bit of advice. Don't try and do everything at once. We live in a world that sort of, we're constantly bombarded with input from everything, our jobs, our social lives, our families, social media, internet, computers. It all happens on top of itself constantly, day in, day out. For me, I've recognised just a few anxieties it sets up where, you know, I'm recognising things I want to do, goals I want to achieve, all these kind of things. And I think I'm suddenly trying to do them all at the same time and not taking a moment to think, slow down, focus on one thing at a time. And actually, I think just that idea of doing that and sort of working on your time management in that respect can just actually help increase your productivity overall, and just calm your brain down. Okay, I think third question, advice for young drummers or new drummers, upstarts, people getting into drumming. I think express your personality in your sound. There are so many different players out there that it's easy to become, you know, I want to learn this, I want to be like that, I want to learn this, I want to be like that. Bring all these things together, use them as useful information and to guide the things that you learn, but make them your own. I think some of the most sort of respected drummers and particularly poignant drummers, to me, have their own personality, their own sound. You can hear that it's that player in what they do. And basically, we're all playing the drums, but we all have our own personal way of doing it. And I think that is hugely valuable in terms of just holding a passion for carrying on learning and doing it in the way that you love doing it every day you sit down at the drums. I would also, don't just learn drums, learn music. What we do is partly sort of, we accompany music. We add a level and a layer to music. I think it's hugely, hugely important that drummers engage in what else is happening in the music around them. Anything you can learn about what the other instruments are doing, recognising the rhythms that they're playing, how they connect to what you're doing, melody, harmony, chords, all of these things, just a general understanding of music, because at the end of the day that's what you're doing, and I think it makes you, it switches your ear to have a particular attitude to what you do on the kit and how it becomes part of the piece of music that you're making. Last thing, same as what everybody has said, same as what every great teacher should be saying all the time to their students, regardless of how much their students pay attention: practice. Practice makes permanent. And there's a great quote, I can't remember who said it, Malcolm someone, sorry Malcolm, practice isn't the thing we do when we're good, practice is the thing we do to make us good. Yeah, and the idea that practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. It's hard to be perfect in this world, but more practice equals more muscle memory, more engagement with everything you're doing. It feeds into having better control, being more fluid on the drums. All of those things I suggested made a good drummer. So practice, practice, practice. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it made sense, and I hope it might inspire you to go on and get creative and get cracking on your drumming. Thanks again, huge thanks to Laura from DRUMQUEST. Please go and check out the YouTube channel. Take care. Find some peace in the rest of this lockdown. Cheers, guys.